Happy New Year, happy holidays, happy birthday if you celebrated one. This is my first video of the year. Anybody who knows me knows that Christmas time, holiday season is a very busy time for me and work. But I have free time again. So first video back, I might as well show you what I got for New Comic Book Day today. And I am just surrounded by things that I have either gotten as didn't sound right at all. That I've either gotten as Christmas presents, that I've bought myself, or that I've just accrued at some point. First off, New Comic Book Day. I've still been getting my books. I've still been reading my books. I just haven't had time to do videos. I have tried to squeeze in my podcast every once in a while. That should be getting started up again this weekend. We should be recording Friday or Saturday. If you're interested, it's the Earbones podcast. You can find it through iTunes. I believe Earbones podcast. There's also a YouTube channel. We also have started recording video for it, so you can watch me basically do exactly what I do right now, just with somebody else near me. That means nothing about him contributing or anything. That's just I talk an awful lot, and I like to have fun. You know, I'm trying to be a fun guy. But first off, New Comic Book Day. DC first, Marvel second. Don't think I got any indie books this week. First up, Batman 14. This is the start of Rooftops, part 1. Whatever Rooftops is, I don't know. I enjoyed the last arc when they were in Arkham. And was it Arkham? I don't know. Bane was controlling it. Something was going on. Green Lanterns 14. I loved the other cover that just had Jessica on it. But if I'm getting this book, I've already skipped a cover because it only had Simon on it, so I had to skip a cover because it only had her on it. I need them both on the cover. This is their combo book, and I love both of them. I love both these characters. I love this book. Cyborg number 8. I'm enjoying aspects of this book greatly. And for some reason, I feel this book is going to slide under the radar for me like Silk did. And we're going to get to issue 16. I'm going to be like, holy shit, this book is great. As of now, though, I'm still enjoying it as I read it. It's definitely, I don't want to say grown on me, because that would mean that I didn't like it at first. I just didn't. Maybe I wasn't given enough of a chance. But I did enjoy it. It just never hit a different level for me that I kind of expect a lot of books to. But I feel like it's running on all gears right now. That might not be a phrase, but I'm enjoying Cyborg. Shade the Changing Girl, number 4. Love this book. Love everything about this book. Love the art. Love the confusion that it leaves me in every issue, at least somewhere. I love the writing. I love the art. I love everything about this. Written by Cecil Castellucci. I may be pronouncing that wrong, and I apologize if I am. Art by Marley Zarcone, or Zarcone. But I adore this book. I can't wait to read this, actually. That may be first up on the to-read list. But I won't be able to read anything for about an hour because I got so much shit here to show. So feel free to leave at any time. Go, leave, take your dog for a walk, go get dinner somewhere, come back, I'll probably still be talking. Up to you. Deadpool Too Soon, number 4. I'm still paying $4.99 for this book. Why? Somebody just tell me why I'm paying $4.99 for this book. I'm enjoying it. I like that Four Brush Man is back. Well, at least he was mentioned. I'm really enjoying Squirrel Girl in this. I'm enjoying the book. Am I getting more book? And I think I might be. I don't think there's any ads in here, actually. Well, there's a few for their titles, but I don't think there's any actual ads. No, I lied. There's a few. But maybe they're minimal because it seems like I'm getting more story. Maybe I shouldn't bitch about the $4.99 as much. It just seems weird. Normally they give us a $4.99 book with number 1, and then it kind of goes away and it's $3.99. This one remains $4.99. I'm still enjoying it though, so I guess I can't really say much. $4.99 is tough though. That's a tough price because it's a very thin line to cross, and when all books are $4.99, and then I'm complaining about a $5.99 book. The Unstoppable Wasp, number 1. Had zero intentions of getting this. Actually already read it in the shop, And when I read Nadia, when I read this Wasp in the Avengers book, which I might as well kill two birds with one stone, and this is Avengers #3, which I like a lot. I like the story going on in this. I actually already read this one as well. I like the story a lot, but I feel like Nadia is empty. I feel like in that book there's not much to her. She's kind of just this generic plastic filler character, just kind of going with the punches and just doing whatever needs to be done. In this, she's an actual person. There's emotion. There's happiness. There's kindness. There's ignorance, but a delightful ignorance. Whereas Black Widow was kind of defeated and beaten down by her experience in the Red Room and kind of went inside and turned angry. Nadia went the other way, and she's just doesn't understand why she needs. She says she's not going to be bitter her whole life, and is just this happy-go-lucky, just this amazing energy of a person. And I like everything that's happened in this book. It's really good. I recommend checking this book out. It's not just, Marvel trying to make money off of female characters. It's not just Marvel pumping female characters out. It's a great book. The character and the build up so far is great. The story looks like it's heading an interesting way, a new way, a fresh way. Check out Wasp. Check out the Unstoppable Wasp, because I was not expecting to like this at all. Thought it was just kind of, hey, we're putting this book out, but I'm wrong. I should not have felt that way, because this book is great. I really enjoyed issue 1. Oh, by the way, written by Jeremy Whitley, artist Elsa Chartier. I hate my life. Elsa Charretier. Elsa Chartier. Of course, Chartier. Oh, I apologize. I didn't even know I got this. I hope this is a mini. Deadpool the Duck #1. Howard the Duck as Deadpool. Scarlet Witch 14. Very sad news when it comes to this book, though. Looking in previews, the one thing I always do when previews comes out is I open the Marvel book, I flip through it, look for Scarlet Witch. Didn't see it this time. Looks like one of my favorite characters' books is ending, and I don't like it. At least there's one more issue after this, though. It still says issue 15 in the back. I don't want to look at the last page because there might be a reveal. I don't know if it's going to say to be concluded, but I should be happy with what I got with at least 15 issues. I do love this book. There was only a few missteps, but by the way, I love all these covers too. I've loved this book, and I'm gonna be disappointed when it goes. I am. Unworthy Thor #3. This story's been fantastic. I love this Thor story. I love Unworthy Thor. I love Beta Ray being there. I love him searching out the Ultimate Thor's hammer. Jason Aaron can write Thor well. I think Jason Aaron can pretty much write anything well, but Jason Aaron knows the depth that a Thor story needs to be, and somehow builds up this almost, it could even be like a faux mythology behind every little detail, and I'm sold. I love Jason Aaron's Thor. I love this Unworthy Thor book. Old Man Logan 16. We're finally past the Ronin arc, and I'm enjoying what we have here. Return to the Wastelands. The Ronin story was good, but I would be lying if I didn't say, I'm glad it's over. So, excited about this. Next, a couple back issues I picked up the past couple weeks. I'm not going to show you the new, or my newer books from the past couple weeks, as they're read and they're already in a stack that need to be put away. But here's some back issues that I picked up. First up, the one I got today is What If Sergeant Fury Had Fought World War II in Outer Space. It's What If #14. I love these what if stories, and that's a great one. Who doesn't love space? And Nick Fury kind of being a cosmic character now and turned into one before what happened. I'm interested to see what's up. I don't know where to put things. Vicky Valentine. I don't think there's a number. It's Renegade Press presents Vicky Valentine by Bill Wagen. Just a kind of an interesting pinup. I guess there's like paper dolls and stuff inside of it. Fashion, paper dolls, romance, adventure, fun. Just something very different that I, like I said before, I'm trying to add some different things into my collection. Some quite weirder things. And as we go with weirder, this is Dark Horse's Virus #1. Plug cover on it. I know nothing about this either, but the cover attracted me. Next up, this is Archie 182. Great cover, where Archie's saying he could use some bread. Jughead said him as well. And there he is, the big galoot himself, walking in with a loaf of bread, saying, "I got bread, guys. Cheer up." Love these damn Archie covers. This is Archie 190. Jug saying, "What's new, Archie?" Archie says, "Read it for yourself, Jug." He's wearing a newspaper shirt and tie. Classic Arch. I have fully lost myself inside of Archie, if you haven't noticed, and I am so sold on Archie. This is Pep 260. This one has me written all over it. It says, "Moose, if you want to pass, you have to bury yourself in books." And then you go and Moose is in his room, buried in a pile of books, which is how I feel in this room at all times, buried in a pile of books. It's a lovely sensation. That man is living a dream. This was actually a gift for me. This was, I believe this is the one. I'm pretty sure this is the one. Like 90% sure. This was a Christmas gift for me. This, my co-host on my podcast, Stick, and possibly who am I kidding? I don't have any friends, so the one I have has to be my best friend. Life with Archie #60, and this is the first appearance of the Archies, the band. So that is very fucking sweet. I mean, I was taken aback. He told me he was mad at me about it though, because now he went down a dark, deep hole of knowing what key Archie books there are. But I'm stoked about this. Super excited to have it. I guess technically this is my first Key Archie book, so that's pretty awesome. Now I just gotta get more. Sabrina the Teenage Witch #42. Just kind of a classic Sabrina story I wanted to get. I want to look to pick these up too eventually. Betty and Me #15. Betty in a bikini saying, "Gosh, Archie, I'd give anything for a slice of Italy." Archie's going to give her a piece of pizza. I think any bikini cover, any Archie bikini cover is worth a pickup. Does that sound weird? I didn't mean it to sound weird. Archie's Madhouse #42. I've never even heard of this title at all. I've never heard of it, never seen any of it. This is Archie's Madhouse #42, and there's a kind of a Dracula, probably just a vampire, saying it's hard to decide. They're all so attractive. I guess it has to be Dracula. It's a Miss Transylvania beauty contest. That's just awesome. I need to look more into what this Archie's Madhouse is and get involved. Next, just a couple books I picked up. I think they were like $0.25 a piece. Just grab some randomly. This is Doll Man #1 from Eternity. I know nothing about it. This was actually a book that I just snagged up because I needed one more. I think it was four for $1, and I needed another one or something like that. So I just snagged that one randomly. The Sleaze Brothers by Epic Comics. I believe this may be like a British imprint. I mean, I may be wrong. No, it looks like it is. It looks like their office of publication is in London, and the reason I know is because at the top here it says 65p as opposed to a dollar amount. I guess it doesn't take a genius, but that's where I got that from. But I don't know what that is. Sleaze Brothers, obviously a play on the Blues Brothers. This is Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol #50. Just a quick pickup. I'd like to get into that run a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Captain Canuck #5. maybe my first Captain Canuck book. Not quite sure. Super excited about this. Solson Christmas Special from Solson Publications. Samurai Santa. He wants you to have a very Merry Christmas. Or else. That's just an amazing Santa. I actually think one of these books. Yeah, Jim Lee did some of the art in this. The Jim Lee. The Jim Lee. I was looking for a year on this. So 86. So some Jim Lee, Samurai Santa, 1986. Archie's Girls, Betty and Veronica, number 312. Archie watched the action. He says he is watching the action. He's watching the cheerleaders, Moose. All right, it's not Moose, it's the coach. Anytime I see a football uniform, I just assume Moose is on the cover. Anything But Monday, number 2. Just a weird indie book, I believe. A bunch of weird different stuff in here. It looks like there's actually many different artists in here. It almost looks like an anthology of some sort. If you know anything about this, published by Anything But Monday Productions, Frank Nora and Mike Masato. I don't know. Just looks interesting. Looks like something weird, interesting. This is The Bat from Apple Comics. This is number 1. They put a super vintage cover on this, but the book itself, it had a $225 cover price, so it wasn't that old, 1990. But they made it look like it was kind of one of the old Dell books or one of the Gold Key books. They have that cover on it. I think it's a gorgeous cover. It's a Dorman cover. Next, Tadpole Prankster. It's half in a one-shot graphic novella, and I actually love that cover. I'm a big fan of that cover. And then on the back, it's Dare Rat, Quick Rosie Do Something. I don't know what that means either, but I love that. I don't know, something about it grabs my attention just fully. I love everything about it. Alpha Flight 2, just because I didn't have it. This was the one back issue I got that I had to mark off. It was on one of my lists. Archie's RC Racers number 4, because that's something that existed at some point in the world. This is Pep number 589. I didn't know Pep went that high. Holy shit. Arena number 1, which just looks weird as shit, and I had to pick it up. Published by Alchemy Studios. I honestly know nothing about it, but that's the cover. And then some of I just like the look of the art in there. It attracted me to it, so I had to snag it up. Oh, there's Doom Patrol 51 and 52. Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, I believe. Yes, it is. This is Serious Drama, 1 of 1. And the cover makes it look like one of those books that, I kind of just usually pass up. But I opened it up, and the art in this is phenomenal. I was super excited about it. Oh, there's the cover. It kind of looks like that Dawn. I don't know if it is her or not. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Not exactly sure. But she has a real it is Dawn. It is Dawn. There's a real Hellraiser vibe on that cover, or on that inside there. And then I love just these pages. I guess Angry Christ is something else going on in there, or that's just kind of a promo, if you will. Damon Mask. Interesting. Very interesting cover there. By Amazing Comics. This is Damon Mask number 1. Published 1987 by Amazing Publishing Company. Gilgamesh, Volume 1. This is Jim Starlin with Steve Oliff. I've never even heard of it. I think it's Gilgamesh 2, Volume 1. Gilgamesh 2, Volume 1. But Jim Starlin, I'm sold on anything you do, even if it's awful. Evangeline. This is the first issue by First Comics. I'm 20 minutes in. I haven't got past Comics yet. You guys are not going to make it through this. I couldn't pass this up. Marvel Masterpieces, number 4. Book 4 of 4 from 93. I love the Marvel Masterpieces. I think 2 of my tattoos are based off Marvel Masterpiece artwork. And after seeing some of these in here, it may be more. I mean, I'm not getting Weapon Omega or Namorita tattooed, but or Strong Guy for that matter. But there's a badass Mephisto. That Colossus is awesome, as is that Magneto. There's some real nice shit in here. I've always loved the Marvel Masterpiece. I don't see why they don't do them anymore. Next up, Necroscope number 2. I know nothing about it, but it looks awesome. Tattoo enclosed. I'm going to put it on my face and wear it all the time. The Wedding of Popeye and Olive by Ocean Comics. Written by Peter David, which I thought was interesting. Pick that up. The Puma Blues number 1 by Aardvark 1 International, or 1 Aardvark International. The art in this is just wild. Super big fan of it. I've been able to get into some of this non-color stuff, some of this black and white stuff recently. So seeing something like this will really help out that. And lastly, for comics, I believe is Fugitoid. It's kind of a magazine size. I know nothing about it, but it looks interesting. It's different, and I like that little guy on the back. All right, comics are done. So if you're only here for the comics, thank you for stopping in. Happy all holidays that happened, will happen, maybe won't happen, will continue to happen. Anything you celebrate, I wish you a good one of it. But if you're still here, we will move on. Next up, some board games. I don't know what to do with things. First up, I got this at a convention. Used, obviously. This is Milton Bradley's 1993 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game. I remember owning this as a child. I don't remember ever playing it. I remember taking out the little chips with the colors on them and taking out all these characters and maybe just fighting them, taking out the putties and fighting them. I remember using these as like little mini morphers, but I don't ever remember playing the game. So it's going to be interesting when I finally get around to cracking this open and giving it a go to seeing how it's played. But the guy said it was complete, so I got a real good deal on this. He wanted 20 for it. I think I got it for like $8. So win for me. Oh boy. Next up, a game I've been looking at for a while, and I actually just played this the other day. It's become a new favorite in the household. It is Takenoko. If you don't know what Takenoko is, you kind of play a farmer. I want to refrain from saying you play God, but you kind of do. You roll a die to determine the weather, and then you get cards that you got to match the specifications on. So you got to garden the bamboo, and you have to, control the panda who can eat the bamboo. It's very fun. I drank some tea. I felt super Asian when I was playing this. That came out wrong, but this is a great game, and it's relaxing. Once you figure out what's going on, it's such a mellow game and it's beautiful. The art's beautiful. It's simplistic yet complex. There's a little bit of something for everybody in this game, unless you're into murder or like animal cruelty, in which case there's nothing for you in this game. But I really enjoyed it. There's the back. Just gave you a little hint of what it kind of looks like when you're playing it. But yeah, Takenoko, great game. Kind of one of the major things I asked for Christmas this year was this, and I got it. I've played 2 or 3 rounds, played 2 or 3 times already, and I absolutely adore it. It's the deck building game Legendary, but this is the Villains edition, where you play as the bad guys against the good guys. I've always kind of related more to the bad guys, and it's great playing as a villain. Although it is completely compatible with any expansions, you could actually play with the regular Legendary deck. You can mix your heroes and your villains together, and as your allies and as your adversaries. So it is fantastic. I love Legendary. It's a classic deck builder, and it is. Listen, if you can get through the very initial setup of your first game when you have to take all the cards out of the plastic and set it up, you're golden. That's the most difficult part of this game, is figuring out what the hell they're talking about. Once you play through once, you get it. Once you play through the second time, you're in, and it's a great feeling. One of the greatest feelings for me in the world, and I remember it vividly as a kid, is the moment when you're learning a board game or a game in general, and it just clicks. That moment when you just that moment of wow, I get it, and then you can just go. That is a moment I'm constantly searching for in life, not just with games, but with everything. I need that moment all the time, and until I get that satisfaction never in life, I'll never be satisfied. So uh, I'll will continue to try to gain that through games while pursuing that feeling in real life, I guess. And lastly, not even open yet. It's the Hobbit board game. We actually have one that's kind of more. I don't want to say like RPG based in this because this one seems more of an adventure game. But the other one, it's more of a board game, yet it's a lot more in depth. You choose your weapon, you choose your armor, you choose all that. But this one looks a little simpler, and you have three different game boards for it. I don't know, I haven't even opened it yet. It's still in plastic. But I got this for super cheap. I think I paid $5 for this, and I'm not gonna pass up a game for $5 that even if I play it once, it already beat its value to me. Okay, that's done. At that same convention that I got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the main reason I went to said convention was because one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, one of my favorite wrestlers, was there doing a signing, Chris Jericho, Y2J himself. And and it was the first time I did it. I started my idea where I was gonna kind of find like an old wrestling magazine for him to sign, or I was gonna try to find like maybe his book for him to sign. But I thought, you know what? I'm not a normal person most of the time. I'm pretty goddamn weird. So I figured if I'm gonna get somebody's autograph, I don't just want it on a piece of paper. I don't just want it on a magazine. Somebody else is gonna have it. So I got Chris Jericho to sign one of my favorite books. I just took one of my favorite books. It's Albert Camus's The Stranger. It is who's it's the Matthew Ward translation. Got him to sign it on the front here. Uh, by the way, the line for Chris Jericho was wild. I was in it for 2 hours. It was crazy long, but it was unbelievable meeting him because that man is truthfully one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And when I told him about this, I set it down. I said, "All right, hear me out. You know, I just want you to sign it. It's kind of my thing. I collect books as well, and I just know that I'm not going to sell it. I mean, that's obviously not going to happen. But the fact that I have Chris Jericho's autograph on The Stranger is awesome to me. I just need to find a box or a type of frame to display it. But he also wrote in here, I've got the Venom. A little story I told him where Tara and I were listening to one of his podcasts. He did a promo on Bray Wyatt about Bray Wyatt was the Venom and he was the anti-Venom. But in our heads, it like over time translated into he has the Venom. So anytime he was on TV, we would say Jericho has the Venom. So we told him that, and he wrote I've got the Venom on the book. But he asked me what the book was about. As I explained it, he told me, looked at me, and said, "I don't know what the fuck you're saying." He said, "This is my second favorite conversation of the day." Like the guy who asked me what what I thought about fossil fuels. But the fact that I have his autograph on The Stranger, I'm super proud of. And I've fallen in love with my own idea by doing this. I just want to go get more autographs on just books. I could understand if somebody didn't want to do it, it not being their work, so I did have a backup, but I hope that nobody gives me problems with it because it's really it really got me excited about meeting people and getting autographs again. Because before, if I just saw them, that was enough for me. But now I have the idea that if I can get their autograph on a book, then it's kind of a different level for me. All right, next from also from Stick, who got me the first appearance of the Archies. I don't know if I said it on here, but I put a message out there that I needed copies of Jingle All the Way. Tara decided that she hated that movie and I think she threw it away, but hid my copy and can't find it. So I went out and bought my own, and then I told all my friends, just give me a copy of Jingle All the Way. I'll put 10 of them in the closet. Every time one disappears, I pull another one out. So Stick being who he is, and knowing that I was pretty serious. Bought me Jingle All the Way on DVD. Bought me Jingle All the Way on VHS. And of course, the one that I needed the most, Jingle All the Way on Laserdisc. Because who doesn't need Jingle All the Way on Laserdisc? I didn't even know Jingle All the Way existed on Laserdisc. There's a movie on there. That's an SLC Punk reference, and I apologize for it. Not only are my accents terrible, I maybe shouldn't have referenced that movie while talking about Jingle All the Way. I don't know what to talk about next. Because I was talking about Jericho and wrestling, I did get a box of Christmas Bootios. You know I collect cereals. Well, cereal box art, but I will not open this. This will stay in box. And I love everything about it. I really do. I love the New Day. I love Bootios. I love the gimmick. I love it. It's a Christmas box. I adore everything about this. That will actually probably remain in a corner back here, up here. It'll probably be in all the videos. Vinyl, I guess. We'll do some vinyl. I got a bunch of books too. I don't know if it's so late already. Let's go through the vinyl real quick. Bought this one for myself. This is the Grooviest Hits of the Archies. Very good deal on this. The only problem is I put it on my turntable and it spun like this. So I had it under some stuff. I'm trying to flatten it out a little bit, but very cheap record. I got it for very cheap, so that's why I will just place it under things and hope it, fixes itself. Because if not, I can buy it. I can buy it again. You will notice these are in alphabetical order because they are ready to be slid in the collection where they need to go. Karate style, I guess. I just listened to this yesterday, actually, and this album is a lot better than I thought. This album surprised the shit out of me. I didn't even buy this for myself. I got this for Tara, and I digitized it yesterday, and while listening to it, this album's pretty damn good. This is Band of Horses, Why Are You Okay? I haven't fully enjoyed a Band of Horses album since Cease to Begin. Was that the name of it? Is it Cease to Begin? Their second album, maybe? I think Everything All the Time was their first album. I love their second album, but like Infinite Arms didn't really get me. And then they had another album between there. Something about it just was lacking. But listening to this yesterday, it's a damn good album. It's a surprising album. I don't want to say it's good yet. It needs a couple more listens. I mean, it's good, but I don't want to say it's, The hell was that? Next up, this is Pompous Clown by Jimmy Pardo. My favorite comedian, Jimmy Pardo. Autograph says, the roles. Autographed it. And I bought this sight unseen. It said it was coming out on colored vinyl. It hasn't been pressed on vinyl yet. This is the first pressing, so I said I need it. And then it came, first off, it has like a very retro label from a Special Thing Records. But the color of this thing is just gorgeous. It's kind of a transparent red marble. And I just knew it was red. I knew it was red colored vinyl. I was not expecting this gorgeous, like, transparent marbling. I don't know if I have any other transparent marbling. Most of my marble records are kind of just marbled, and my transparent records are transparent. I think this might be the first one I have together. That's good. Probably gonna get framed. I probably won't even. Well, I mean, I played it earlier. I actually listened to it like right before I started this video, but it's not gonna be out much. It's gonna probably be in a frame. Next up is a very Casey Christmas. If you follow me on Twitter, at Breakdown Brand, you saw I posted this. I got it like 2 days ago, so I got this super late for Christmas. But my favorite Christmas song, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, is on it. So, and a lot of contemporary Christmas albums don't have it. And I love Casey Musgraves. I really do. I'm not even a big fan of country music, but I really enjoy Casey Musgraves' music. And this is a transparent green. Because why couldn't it be? Why shouldn't it be? You should have transparent green albums as your Christmas albums. Super excited about owning this. I buy one new Christmas vinyl every year. Because I have a stockpile of little old ones. And this one, when I heard this coming out, when this was announced, I knew I was going to buy it. It was just a matter of finding it. And then the colored vinyl was sold out. I eventually found a secondhand dealer, got a great deal on this. Super excited about that. Next up, this is Louis C.K. live at Madison Square Garden, picture disc. I know, picture disc, the sound quality is never the best, but I think for a comedy album it'll be fine. And Louis C.K. is one of the best doing it. Genius, comedy genius. Next up, not gonna try to pronounce it. This is Minus the Bear. This is interpretations of, I believe. Uh, this is different interpretations of Minus the Bear's album, but it is a gold and blue swirl. When I actually got this, I opened it up and said, "Why the hell did I get this? Why there's different remixes of all the album by different artists or different DJs, if you will." And I said, "Why did I get this?" And I opened it up and said, "Oh yeah, the blue and gold swirl." It's actually not bad, but I don't know. I guess I got it. The colors sucked me in. I really couldn't care one way or the other about that album, but it happened. Another one for God for Terror. This is Paramore's self-titled. This is the one that has Still Into You and Ain't It Fun. Still trying to snag Paramore's first album on vinyl. I was a huge fan of that first album. I listened to it a lot back during a time when I was listening to it where I wouldn't admit to people that I was listening to it. One of those deals. I loved it, and this album I haven't listened to all of it. I know the hits off of it, and the two hits that I mentioned are hit or miss for me. Next up, Parkway Drive's Ire. This is an album that grew on me heavily. I wasn't sure how I felt about it, and then I had it on like a running playlist or something, and it almost played front to like track one to the last track straight through while I was running. And this album is pretty fantastic. In addition to being fantastic, this is a special edition, and it is this. Well, it's kind of a blue. I don't know if you, it's etched. If you can't see that, it is etched. But then it's also like a smoke. It's like a smoke underneath it. Like it's like a blue smoke. But that etching is pretty sweet. By the way, the etched side cannot be played. I don't think you. I mean, maybe you didn't know that because it's not really common knowledge. Maybe you'd think it would be. I'd like to see it etched. I mean, I guess that would take away from it though. It would be a lot of stops and starts. But it's kind of a gatefold. It's 2 LP. Only the second one is etched, by the way. But just great album all around. Super excited to have it. Pee Wee's Big Holiday, 180-gram picture disc. It is the soundtrack, the score, if you will, of Pee Wee's Big Holiday, which I loved. If you're into Pee Wee and you haven't watched it, watch it on Netflix. All your good Pee Wee moments are there. Everything fun that you knew about Pee Wee is there. This is probably something else going to go up in a frame. It may get listened to once, and then I may just digitize it, and then it'll go in a frame and probably won't come back down. Piebald's Accidental Gentleman. I didn't know anything about Piebald. I listened to like 2 tracks off this album before I bought it, and it sounded okay. It sounded like something all right that I could get into. But once again, the color sucked me in. Clear yellow here. So good cover too. I like the shirts, the jackets on the trees. And it, like I said, they've never really been on my radar. I've heard of them, but they were never on my radar. And then I listened to a couple of songs of it. I said, you know what, I can get down with that. And it's colored vinyl, which can make me get down with it harder. So we have a Piebald in the collection now. Next up is Touche Amore's Parting the Sea Between Brightness and Me. And Touche Amore, if I could try to explain them easily, if you don't know who La Dispute are, if you know who La Dispute are, they're kind of a lighter, softer La Dispute, but with just as much emotion, but kind of slower and more melodic. And once again, it's colored vinyl, obviously. This is a silver marble, like a gray marbling with yellows and a couple of some blacks in it. And Touche Amore have kind of stolen my heart as I think they expect to do with every song. Their newest album is called Stage 4, and it was the lead singer lost his mother to cancer, and it's all about her loss and his kind of trying to accept it and deal with it, which is it's a heavy album. It's a really heavy album. Next up, Japan Today by the UK Subs. I'm really trying to stock up on some of the punk albums and a lot more punk because I've been in a mood for a while to get heavily back into punk. And the main reason this is the one I started with because it has the punk rap on it, which if you don't know what it is, just go on YouTube. Well, I guess you're on YouTube now. Go on YouTube. Look up punk rap by the UK Subs and just prepare to have a look on your face that you should probably take a picture of because you won't have it for a while again. And this is a gatefold. By the way, it's not even 2 LPs. It's just 1 LP. But it's a gatefold simply to accommodate that picture. Because fun, right? Actually, I don't know if I could show that. I don't know if I could show that. I don't. 40 minutes in, nobody's watching. Nobody's watching 40 minutes in to report it, I guess. But this is by Let Them Eat Vinyl. It's actually pressed by Let Them Eat Vinyl. And it is sticky, I guess. I guess it's sticky in there. Just a clear, transparent red. But it's been many, many years since I've even listened to any UK Subs before picking this up. So it's either going to be a very interesting experience or a very unenjoyable experience when I put that on. Lastly, The Used, In Love and Death, another band that means a lot to me, another band that I listen to heavily, heavily, heavily. And this, of course, this album is gorgeous. This is actually a kind of a tie-dye, if you will. I think it's called red with black splatter or black with red splatter or like blood splatter, something along those lines. But it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And the album, it's a fantastic album too. I still need to get their other album. Never for a million years gonna pull the name of it, but it's like maroon or cream with maroon splatter, I think. So I need to get my hands on that too. That's it for the vinyl. I guess I'm just gonna wrap it up with some books, but there is some things. Kind of started a new collection because why? I don't collect enough things, right? I had a drink. If I could just collect what I have around me, I had a drink. I have no idea where there it is. Pardon my anger. Delicious. Arnie Palmy Zero. Big man's upstairs now. Arnie got into the golfer. Couple things. When I was at that convention where I met Jericho, where I got the board game, I came across a stand. I came across a table. They were selling curiosities. I've always wanted to get into the curiosities, and had a great deal. Um, I bought a little mystery coffin, if you will. There's a little like wooden coffin. It included like 3 small bottles or small vials and 2 necklaces. And she said because it was the last one, she'd give me another 2 bottles off this rack. So one of the bottles I took, this is a cross cut section of a sheep brain. So I have some sheep's brain in a jar now. And some of the 2 necklaces Tara got were one's like a cross-cut section of a vertebrae, I think, where you can see like the marrow inside and the outer rim of the bone. And the other one's like a pressed butterfly or a moth wing. It's like a pressed moth wing in like 2 pieces of glass. Some of the little vials there were sea urchin, anemone urchin, whichever one has the spines. A couple of spines in one. There's just a bee in one. Some little tiny bones, like cross section of a lot of little bones. Like I think they were like rabbit spine or something. But the big one, the big ticket, the one that I really wanted, the first thing that I bought that drew me into their table was this guy. That is a squid, and he is preserved just gorgeously. I've spent a lot of time just looking at this, and it just I love everything about it. Let's see if I can get a better look at it here. It's just I love everything about it. And I know I don't have the patience to do taxidermy, but I'm pretty sure I can jar things. So I'm gonna try to get into doing it. I would love to do it. I don't know exactly how to go about getting started. I'm not gonna try to go out and kill animals to do it, but I just I adore this guy so much, and I've kind of kept in touch with her uh, through her website, and we'll probably be purchasing some more things shortly because I love her work. I love curiosities in general. I just need room. Um, I might as well run through some books. Well, I got a couple DVDs real quick. I picked up these. It was like in a double pack. It's Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. There's 2 movies on each. You have The Kid and Tilly's Punctured Romance, and then Steamboat Bill Jr. and The General. And then I picked up first season of Todd Margaret for $2. You can't beat that. That show is hilarious. Some books, The Loop by Nicholas Evans, Tony Hawk's autobiography for some reason. Got this for $0.25. Mind the Gap Volume 2 trade for $0.25. $0.25. Goodwill. I've never found anything like that at Goodwill. Quarter. Goodwill. This is an anthology of graphic fiction, cartoons, and true stories, Volume 2. And it's just it's kind of, it's what it is. It's an anthology. There's a lot of different shit in here, a lot of different artists. So I was super excited to get this. I think this was $6, so that's a steal as well. Got an Ellen DeGeneres book, one of her books. The funny thing is, I got Living History, Hillary Rodham Clinton's book. I'm actually really pretty excited to read this. This was written in, well, I guess I could play my game because it's $28 cover price. I want to say this is 2011 when it was written. Whoa, I was way off. 2003. 2003. What else do we got here? Oh, An Object of Beauty, a novel by Steve Martin. I'm really excited to see what this is about. I love Steve Martin's brain. I love Steve Martin's humor. Even if it's not humorous, I think it's going to be enjoyable. What do we got here? Producer, which is I think it's a biography, or it's a memoir by David Wolper. Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides, and I know Reader 1717 is a Jeffrey Eugenides fan. So when I got this as a present, I was actually pretty stoked up because I know she's a fan of Jeffrey Eugenides. I know this isn't the one that she recommended, but other than Virgin Suicides, I haven't read any Jeffrey Eugenides, and I liked the exposition of this. Got Stephen Colbert's book, I Am American, So Can You. I never bought it for myself because I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. The book's not of quality enough for this, I don't think. I get it. I get why he did it, but it's not a joke that I guess I enjoy. The Road to the Dark Tower, exploring Stephen King's magnum opus. Huge Dark Tower fan. I've said it before. I was too young for Lord of the Rings. It came out way before. And then when Harry Potter came out, I was already reading at a higher level. So it didn't interest me. It seemed too, I don't want to say immature, but I didn't like the way it was written. It seemed dumbed down. So I was kind of too old for that. So Stephen King's Dark Tower series kind of became that for me. That was my fantasy series. Between that and Terry Brooks' Shannara series, those were the two that kind of filled that void. The Family That Couldn't Sleep. It's kind of a medical study on this family that had an actual condition that prevented them from sleeping. And I guess lastly, I really, really like this. It's the Complete Speakers and Toastmasters Library. There's a bunch of different volumes here for things like business and professional point makers, remarks of famous people, origins and firsts, proverbs, epigrams, aphorisms, sayings, and bon mots, human interest stories, speech openers and closers. I just this is awesome to me. I love things like this. This was a present for me from Tara, and I love this. This is fantastic. I'm sure there's more stuff around me, and I'm sure as soon as I end, I'm gonna like turn around, and there's gonna be something behind me, and I'm just gonna swear very loudly. Neighbor's gonna come over, ask me what I'm doing. I'm gonna make up some story that's worse than what I'm actually doing because I can't tell the truth. In moments of awkwardness, I create stories. So I'll probably end up telling her that I have like a captive here. Police will be called. I'll be up until very late tonight. Then I will be very tired going to work tomorrow. Probably crash my car, which will lead me to tell a story that I almost hit some type of mythological animal, probably a centaur of some sort. I will convey that message. Probably be taken to some type of mental hospital where I will feel awkward once again. Probably say that there's nothing wrong with me. They will distinguish that's not true. Realize I am either a pathological liar or completely insane. In which case, I will start to try to tell the truth. They will not believe me. I will rot away in this mental institution. So let's hope there's nothing around me because that doesn't need to happen. I'm super pumped that that whole story just came out of my mouth because it sounded like it was written and it wasn't. But I think I'm done. Hopefully, I'll get back on track. I'm trying to do some new things. The podcast should be back at Earbones Podcast. Search for it on iTunes. I may try to put the link to it in the description. I don't know. We'll see how that works. But there's YouTube also. Earbones Comics, I think it is. Earbones Podcast. I don't know. I'll put a link to that as well, maybe, if I get around to it. If not, definitely next week. But I'm going to get, at the very least, I'm getting back to doing my New Things Day videos. You'll see those Wednesdays. I might try to do a couple audiographies. I got some new vinyls, some new albums that are meaningful to me. What else was I doing? There was another videos that I was doing. Audiography, New Things Day, and there was one more. What was the other one? What was the other videos I was doing? Because they weren't good or important. Oh, my books. The books I was reading. I Am the End of the Words. I'm looking to do possibly tomorrow. I want to get all the books I read last year. I think it came to like 55-ish. I read 55 books last year. I want to get them all beside me after I clean this mess up that I have. And I want to go through them in alphabetical order, so they're not like by time, and see how much I remember from all of them. See if I remember them enough that I would recommend them still. See if they stuck with me enough that they're still memorable and they're still there. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. If you made it this far, that you could let me know about. Actually, if you made it this far, you're interested in that because you don't care what I'm talking about because I just ramble anyway. But if you did make it this far, I'm forever grateful. Thank you. I just like to talk, and if there's one person that enjoys listening, it works for me. But for the most part, we should get back to normal with videos and life. Hopefully. But thank you. It's a new year. I don't know if I should do the salute. I feel like there's nothing else I can do. That's all. That's mine. It's my thing. But I will hold up my squid for the thumbnail, if you will. But thank you for watching. And really though, if you made it this far, you have my thanks forever because you are a better person than I am. I can't listen to myself for very long, which is why I do this, because if I don't do this, I talk to myself, I can't listen to it, and then I get louder and my neighbor comes. We already went through that. We went through all that story already. But thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful year. Uh, don't be a person. Don't be the person that everybody else expects you to be. Be the person you want to be. I don't know why I got. Don't know why I hit that level. Don't know why I'm there, but that's what I'm leaving you with. Thank you for watching.